Okay, Lauren, this is my first recording, so if I'm a little uncomfortable, you'll understand why. Okay, so what I want you to do is you're going to go to ribbet.com, and on ribbet.com you're going to go to edit a photo, right here where you see my mouse moving, and you'll click on edit a photo. We'll let it load. Sometimes it takes a little while. Okay, then from here I already have the pictures loaded up. I'm sorry, my fault. Go to sign in and then right here you're going to put in the code, which is Lauren Foreign. That's your username, and your password is going to be Foofy, and sign in. And then hold on, putting my phone on vibrate because someone's calling me. Okay, you'll see the photos right here. Go to the library. And when you go to the library, there's three samples right here of ones I've done before. And if you'll notice, it says DSC underscore 0258 lowercase e. Also, the same thing right here has a lowercase e. And this one has a lowercase e right here too. So what I want you to do is you're going to go to an image. I'm going to pick this image right here because it seems to have a lot of things going on that need to be corrected. So you'll click right here on this little sub menu, which is, I call this thing a cog because it looks like a cog from a watch. And then you'll go to edit, and then the picture will upload. And if you notice, it's all kind of crazy and not level. So we're going to go right here to the first basic edits, which you see right here, and we'll go to rotate. And then you're going to rotate the image until the kid's feet and Warren's feet match with the lines that I just showed you. And I'm straightening so that, you know, like they're here, that wouldn't be matching the line. So right here you're going to match the line like as if they're standing on the line. And then you're going to click apply. And then from here you're going to change like the exposure or the colors or sharpen the picture. So for example, if I sharpen the picture, we don't want to sharpen too much. We want to sharpen just enough so that it looks natural. So notice I'm moving the little scale right here, the little, I don't know what you'd call it. And then you can also make the clarity better. And so we'll click apply. And then you have a sharpened image. It's straight. Okay, now I don't really see anything else much to fix right here except for like maybe right here. There's some busyness going on. So then you would go to touch up, again right here on the top of the screen. And then on touch up, there's a lot of things you could do. The ones I mainly use are like shine be gone, blemish fix, airbrush, wrinkle remover, put some blush in maybe sometimes. There's a lot of things you could use. I mean, you're welcome to use any one that you feel comfortable with. But the ones I mainly use are down here, dodging, burning, and clone. So I would go to clone right here, and then see how I have that little circle now? That's going to be like the thing I'm going to clone. So I could kind of make the image bigger right here in this section. It says zoom. And then you see how these images, I want to get rid of these, and it's bigger now. So this is the thing I'm going to copy. So I would press the brush right here, and then see this extra circle that comes out. This is going to be I'm putting this space right here over these. So it would look like this. And I have to be careful not to do too much because then it kind of makes the image crazy and it'll repeat something that you don't want repeated. So I re-clicked source selection so that I could do it again. I kind of like this color better. So I think I'm going to try to click on that same thing. So let me show you what happens if I keep going down. You see how it makes the image come out right here? And you don't want that madness going on. So I'm going to go to the eraser on the left hand side. And I'm going to erase this. Go back to the original image. Click the eraser off on the left hand side. Go back to source selection. And we'll come back up here again because I liked the color that I see right here. So then I would just go over it again, trying not to go over the original space where that image was. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to see how this is happening right here. So you'd go back to source selection, go back to what you want to see, which might be something more like that. maybe down here. Kind of clean it up. Again, I'm source selecting because I see that the air conditioner is coming out right there, so I'm gonna try to get rid of that. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect because it's something that's off to the side, but you want it to look not obviously like that you had edited it either, because then it's going to draw the eye's attention to the area. Okay, so now this area is cleaned up. I can go back here down where it says zoom, and I'm going to see the whole image again. You see how it just looks like a little cleaner, looks nicer. Okay, then right here I will apply it because I like the way it looks. Excuse me. So I'm going to apply it, and then I'm going to go over here to where it says effects on the top left corner, where I'm jiggling the mouse around. I'm going to click on effects, and all these different menu items are going to come out. Again, you could try playing with stuff and see what you look, you know, the way something, if you like the way something looks. Then for me, I usually go to soften or edit just to put it for the focus on the thing that I want to be focused on. So for example, on this one, if I soften it, you see how the image is just all kind of softer. So then I would go right here to the cross, and I'm erasing the effect on the cross. And I'm going to erase the effect on Victoria's brother. I can't remember his name. So I'll just basically do a very loose erasing. It doesn't have to be crazy or very detailed. You don't want to spend too much time because then it wastes profit. Okay, so then right here we'll do Carlos because it was his 25th wedding anniversary. And so we're erasing Carlos. Or we're erasing the effect on Carlos. So basically now I've told the viewer what to focus on, which is basically here and here. I don't really want them to focus on Warren, so I'm just going to apply right here. Then I'm going to go, what I usually do at the end of every picture is I do vignette. So see this black image that came out? I'm going to cancel again so you can see it. See, there's nothing right here. And then we're going to get a black vignette. Okay, now this is too much, so I'm going to go back right here to the left hand side where it says size. I can change the size of the vignette and just do like the very tips of the pictures. And then I could do the strength. See, this is very dark and this is very light. So what I want to do is I actually want to make the vignette a little bigger, but I want to minimize the strength. So I'm pushing back on the strength bar. And you can also change the colors right here. Like for example, if I want to change it to green, red, but basically for this purpose, because it's a wedding or like more of a solemn event, we want to make sure that we don't make it all too crazy. Just enough to make it look like, to make the picture pop. So then I click apply. Okay, so now I feel that my image is done. So I am going to, well, another thing I could do right here, see this image right here of the Blessed Virgin Mary and the baby, Jesus. If I want to make that less visible, I can go back up here, if you're looking at the top of the screen, to touch up. And I can go down to the bottom again. Remember I told you I use these a lot. Dodging, burning, clone. So I'm going to burn this background a little bit because I don't want it to show so much. Or maybe it is a good idea to show, but I'm going to try to like just burn it a little bit so maybe it doesn't show so much. And actually that's not doing what I want it to do. It's actually making it more obvious. So I'm going to erase that. Make it back to what it was. Okay, cancel it. Okay, now there's the original image. I did see something though. I think I'm going to leave this way. But I did see this exit sign that I don't like, and this exit sign right here too. So I'm going to go back up here and see this image right here too. Maybe that's a little distracting. I'll go to clone. And I can totally zoom in on like the exit sign or down here. Okay, so then I would just click on, I could make the circle smaller actually, so my tool is just a little smaller. Then zoom back, make sure it looks natural. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And now go up here to the exit sign. But when I go to the exit sign, see this? I want to kind of click on the part that I want it to look like, just so it doesn't look so dirty. Okay, now this is a great example of what not to do. See how it looks? And if I zoom back, see how you could completely tell that there was something going on right here? We don't want to do that. So go back to the eraser, or I just could click on cancel. and it cancels both of the images, so be careful with that. Okay, so I'm going to clone, back to the drawing board over here, and I'm going to go down right here. I want to get rid of that. So I just want to make my brush a little smaller. I'm on the left hand side. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on where I want to copy it from. Okay, so I'm erasing that now. Actually, that looks better than the first time. So since I don't want to erase that again in case I make a mistake on top, I'm just going to click apply on the left hand side. If you see where I'm moving the mouse. Then I'm going to go up here to the exit sign. I'm going to try to zoom in really close so I can get something good going on there. I'll go back to clone on the left hand side. I clicked on it. There's my cloning tool. Again, well, actually, you know what? I could keep the brush size bigger here because it's such a big image. And maybe just a little bit smaller. There. So I'm going to, that's where I want to get it from. And then I'm just going to go over the whole thing. Okay, now see how it's coming out on the bottom right there? Either I erase it, or I could just start over again. Going back to the source image each time, remember that. Okay, I'm going back up here, and I'm going to gently brush over that, and I think that looks pretty good. Checking it out. I do see like it looks dirty here, so I'm going to go back to source image. I'm going to try to make the brush size bigger here, and I'm going to go up here and try to grab some of this clean wall and see if that looks a little better, which I'm not completely convinced. Let me see. Well, actually, yeah, that looks semi-decent. Not perfect, but semi-decent. So I'm going to apply now. If you notice, I clicked apply, so now everything's done. So once you're done editing an image, and it might take you a little while to play with these things to see what's there. You definitely won't need stickers. You won't need frames. But you could try frames out if you want to, because it has like reflection. So if I want to make an image and see how it adds this to it, and maybe not postage stamp, maybe a mirrored frame. See how there's an image within an image. Maybe that would be nice. Maybe I'll keep that one for this one. Okay, so let's just say I keep it. I'm going to put apply. And so right here, notice also you have the frame tint. So I could put whatever color I want. And as I toggle across, you could see the frame changing. And then maybe I could pick which one I think would look best. And it has to be something I feel that's close to the color of what's happening in the church. You don't want to put something too crazy. Maybe that one. So I'm just looking. I'm looking. Again, then you have the more creative eye, so your choice. I like that one. Your choice might be much more awesome than what I'm picking. Okay, so I'm going to click apply. I'm going to leave that there. Then I want to go up to the very top of the page where it says save. This is the important part that I was telling you about. So I'm going to click save. And you see on the left hand side, it says save this photo to my computer. That's the only place that it'll save the photo to. So it says the name of the file, and then right here I'm going to click on the end and I'm going to put an E. Okay, then once I put the E, then I'm going to click save photo. I would like you to save it here on JPG, best for most photos, because we want to make sure that when we reprint it, that it's the best quality that can be. Okay, so then don't change anything else about compression quality, but go right here to save photo. Okay, and then it's saving the photo, but you're going to do a little bit more. Okay, now you see how it pushed it over here to downloads. This is where you can find it. But I'm going to go over here to this side, the left side of the screen, and you're not going to be able to see this, but on file, on the left side of the screen, I am going to put export. Okay, just export, not export as PDF, because it's not a PDF file. You put export and this page comes out, and you see the same file name that it was originally called. And then I just want you to make sure where it's saved is at the desktop so that it's easy for you to find. Okay, so here's the desktop. Right here I shall click save. Okay, now it's saved on the desktop, so I'm just going to go ahead and close this one. It's closed. Okay, now here's the trickery. You're going to go here to where the library is. This is the image I was originally fixing. Okay, I've already fixed it and I've saved it. So you're going to go down here to where the cog is and open that menu. And then you're going to click on delete. So we will delete the image. It says delete forever. Don't get scared. Delete it. And then I want you to go back over here to the left-hand side where it says upload photos. Okay, so we're going to click on the left-hand side which says upload photos. So you notice the image is gone from here, but we want to save it back on here so that we have the ease taking over. At the end, we'll have 100 edited photos, but we know that these are not edited because they don't have an E at the end. So now I'm going to upload the photo we just edited. Very important to do right away because chance for mess ups is less and accidentally erasing something. So right here, if you notice, I have all the E's. E. These are images. Okay, I did that one already. I did that one already. Did that one already. Okay, this is the one I just did. So now I will click on this one and I will click open. Okay, now here the image is here. You'll see it. But if you go to the library, it's going to also be here. Do you see it here on the left hand side? So now the image is saved here. So then I would continue on to the next picture and do the same thing. This one I'm going to click on to show you quickly some edit I might want to do on this picture. Again, you would go first to your basic edits. Okay, so here's my basic edit. I'm going to rotate. Okay, so I'm going to rotate this because I noticed that I probably was on drugs when I took this picture. And I'm going to save. Okay, now the picture and the coloring look pretty good, but if I wanted to, I could change the color saturation to the temperature of the picture. It's kind of yellowish, right? So if you look here on the left hand side where I clicked colors, I can change the temperature. You see how that's a little more like greenish? I can go over here and make it a little more orangish, reddish. See that? So I'm going to just try to make something that looks as close to a human's natural color as I can, which might be like around here. And I'm going to apply. Okay, and the picture looks pretty sharp. But something I do notice is that there's a hot spot right here on his forehead. And, I might want to clean up his face a little bit because I noticed some blemishes here, things like that. I think this is not really, over on the right-hand side, this is not really distracting. These little lights looks kind of pretty. The candle looks awesome. I could actually make the flame go higher, but I won't because I don't want it to look like his jacket is on fire. Okay, so then I would go right here to touch up on the top menu. I'm going to go to touch up. And when I go to touch up, I'm going to go up to the top. See where it says airbrush, shine be gone? I'm going to use shine be gone right here because he has a big shininess. I'm zooming in here on the bottom. So I'm going up here. And I'm just going to click here and try to get rid of some of that shininess. Okay, so I'm just randomly clicking. And if you look now, a lot of that shininess is gone. We're not done taking care of this shininess, but I'm going to look at his ear right here too. He's got some shiny stuff going on in his ear too. Okay, and then maybe his nose. There's a little bit of shiny going on there. Okay, that's just a basic preliminary edit. So I'm going to apply because that looks pretty good. Then I'm going to go to airbrush. Okay, now see how big the airbrush brush is? I'm going to go ahead and go to the left hand side and I'm going to make it a little smaller. And then I'm going to airbrush over him. Okay, now I do want to show you something. I'm just going to kind of gently airbrush over all of his face and his ear, not the hair. Okay, and I want to show you something. If I move over to the fade bar on the left hand side, this is nothing. Okay, this is just the way his face is, and I can kind of gently come over this way and just see what looks natural and nice. Now if I go all the way over, you see this? It's just too clean. It's too clean. This is not normal. So we don't want to do something like that either because then it just looks weird. See that? To me, that looks weird. It doesn't look natural. We always want our pictures to look natural. So we want to go over to the fade. I'm going to nothing again. And I'm going to slowly inch my way over here. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. Cross between the two. I'm going to apply. Okay, now I want to go to blemish remover. You could do this in any order. You could do blemish remover first if you want to. So I'm going to click on that, and you see that teeny weeny little brush. I'm going to go in close right here. but I'm going to make this teeny weeny little brush a little bigger. And I see like right here he has a blemish. We just got rid of it right here. But remember then again to don't make this all crazy and you know, that you spend hours on it. You want to spend as little time as possible on a picture and just get the major things that are showing. So right here I wasn't able to get rid of this blemish, but we are going to get rid of that blemish. Okay, now let's go screening out again. Looks good, right? I'm going to apply. Now I want to go down here to his hand. Okay, see his hand? Just to smoothen it up a little bit, I will go to airbrush and make his hand as big as I can, just so it's easier for you to manipulate. I made the brush a little smaller, and I'm just going to go over his hand, get rid of some of the madness going on here. There's another hand on the other end right here. We are going to get rid of this, right, and just kind of smooth it over a little bit. Just notice there was an eye on the podium. It kind of scares me. Okay, there, his hands, you don't have to really worry about whether it's natural too much, because no one's going to really focus on that. Now, for this image, I would also go to effects. You know what? Before I forget, I'm going to come back up here to this image and go to that weird little spot right here in his head. I'm going to go back to touch up. I'm going to go to the bottom of the page. I'm going to go to clone. Okay, now we don't want this big honkin' clone brush, so we're just going to go make it smaller. And I'm going to find a piece of his head that kind of matches, and I'll just kind of go over that gently. See? Gone. And I'll apply. And then I'm going to go back to zoom, and I'm going to bring this down. See how that looks good? Okay, no little red dot kind of calling your attention. Okay, then I thought about this, but I thought, nah, it's kind of not worth the time. That little mark underneath the crucifix. So I'm going to go now to effects, and I'm going to go to that vignette. So here's the vignette. It's already kind of softly focused back here, so I don't need to put more. I'm clicking on vignette. See how it's just too much? So I am going to make the size smaller, and maybe the strength just a little less, not too much. And I'm going to apply. Okay, I think this picture looks fantastico. So now I will save. Again, you're going to get this page, and I have the file name here, and I'm going to put an E on the end. I'm going to save the photo. Wait while it saves. And again, it's saved up here, but remember on the left hand side of the screen, which you can't see, it says preview, and then it says file. Click on file, and you're going to click export. Okay, and make sure the file name is the same, right? And to desktop. I'm going to click save. Now I will click off of this, close the photo. I think I closed it last time. Go back to your library. Here's the image that we did not fix. So we are going to click on this little cog in the menu, click delete, delete forever. Then we're going to go back to upload photos, and we're going to find that image. I remembered that I had them all right here. So I'm going to find that image of Andrew. Oh, there it was. Okay, and I'm going to open it. And now it's going to get uploaded here, but don't worry about here. Just go back to the library and make sure it's here. Once it's here, we're home free. Then all we would need to do is go back to the next one. So all these here are E's, and we're going to go do the next one until we are complete with the whole. If you see this, don't worry. It's just taking the images a little while to upload, and they will populate. So again, see how they're populating. Okay, so this page can only hold 100 images at a time, which is fine with me, because then we are going to go ahead and upload the next 67, because it was a total of 167 pictures. I want to show you something really quick right here with Jacob. So when we're looking at Jacob's image right here, you know, see how he has glare on his glasses? There is on touch up, if you go right here to touch up on the top of the screen, there is something called glare. I can't remember what it's called, glare something, but we're going to look for it. I'm looking on the left hand side of the screen, and I'm looking to get rid of the glare. I saw it somewhere. Maybe it was on, no, it couldn't be on effects. Oh no, it was on Shine Be Gone. That's what I use. Okay, so we go to Shine Be Gone. And it completely, you can see his teeth too. Same thing, we want to whiten the teeth. But right here on the Shine Be Gone, I would just click on those little shiny spots to make that less distracting. In photography, they call those hot spots. So we're just going to get rid of all the hot spots. And I'm just clicking on anything that's distracting here, right? This is distracting. Okay, now when I go back, see, it's not so crazy, not so obvious, right? There's a lot of glare on his glasses anyway, so don't worry about that. Now, if you wanted to do the teeth, this is one of the funny parts when people don't know that you're working so close with their teeth. Did you see how here when I did it, there was more pink that came down? Maybe you don't want that. I'm going to apply because I don't want to lose the work that I did do on glasses. So I'm going to go to Shine Be Gone again. I'm going to make my brush just a little smaller. So it's just enough to get rid of these little shinies on the teeth. And what I would do on the teeth also is I'm going to apply that. I'm going to go to whiten. So right here, if you notice on the left hand side of the screen, I'm scrolling down and I found the tool that says teeth whiten. So I'm going to whiten these teeth. The bigger, the better. It's just going to be easier for you, okay? So maybe not the brush size, but I'm going to make the brush size smaller on the left hand side of the screen where it says teeth whiten. And now I'm just going to go over the teeth. If you notice, the teeth are getting wider. And I'm just going to go halfway because I want you to see the difference, okay? So if you look on the left hand side of the screen, these are whitened teeth. On the right hand side of the screen, these are not whitened. So this is the reason why we do want to whiten them. Occasionally, if I look at somebody's eyes, now I'm going to do the whole thing. If I look at somebody's eyes, I'll notice that their eyes are kind of red, or there's a lot of little veins in them. So sometimes, if the image is close up, I will do the eyes too. So I'm going to, first, before I apply this, I'm going to go back a little bit, okay? So we can look at the whole face. Okay, the teeth look good there. But sometimes it's too much. Okay, so again, go look on the left-hand side where it says teeth whiten. And we're going to look at this tool part where it says fade. If I move it all the way over to the right, that's the way his teeth naturally look. Then I can just kind of come over to the left a little bit at a time and see what looks better on the amount of white that I want his teeth. Remember, we want it looking natural, even though it's not his natural tooth color. There's natural. I can come all the way to the left. And I think that color looks good. I said, but just maybe a little bit less, okay? And I'm going to apply. Okay, then I'm not done with this picture. I would totally do, on the top, I would go to airbrush. So I want to just make my airbrush smaller since I'm working with the image so far away from me. Okay, I'm just going to kind of go over his nose, cheeks, upper lip, his ears, don't forget the ears, the bottom of his face. Okay, this is the whole shenanigans over his lips. Okay, I didn't go over his eyes because I don't want this glasses part to look unclear. Okay, and I might want to also airbrush the suit or make it a little less focused. Okay, so now as I see what I've done here, again I'm going to go to fade and see what looks more natural as I inch my way to the left on this bar right here. And I think just about there looks natural. Maybe if I did a little more, it might be too much. So I'm going to save. If there were wrinkles and stuff, he's young, but if there were wrinkles, you could use the wrinkle remover. And then you also don't want to remove, like see how he has natural moles right here? We don't want to remove those. We just want to remove images that are like maybe cuts from shaving or things like that. Or here is a pimple. So I would do blemish remover. Maybe a little bit up here where he has a beard showing. Oh, there. But you don't want to remove any obvious birthmarks that is the person. So I'm gonna go over here to effects, and I want to kind of make the suit a little bit softer. So I'm gonna click soften. Okay, now you see how the suit is softer just by a tad. This is the amount of softness. I could totally make it too much. This is nothing. If I go to the right, it's like, I think it looks pretty nice. What I want to do is I want to make sure that I don't do that on his face, right? So if you look at this extra menu, this will actually erase from his face. So I'm going to make this brush size really big, and I'm erasing the extra softness from his face because we already did the other editing on it and we don't want to get rid of that. So see how it's just a little softer. Maybe I could make his tie clear. And just depending on if you like it or not, you could play with the fade again. I'm not sure I'm happy with that much of a suit fade. Like this is too much for me. See how it's all blurry? So I'm just going to go just a tad, and then I'm going to apply. Okay. And then I'm going to go back and get my vignette. And that's too much, so I want to make it a little less, just a tad, to make it look pro quality, right? You see how it's very small, and I'm going to save it. It says apply vignette. Yes, I want to apply vignette. And then right here I'm going to put an E at the end to show that I edited. I'm going to save the photo. Okay, photo was saved, but then again here it is. Okay, again, what you can't see, I'm going to File, Export Image to the desktop because I want to know where it is. Okay, it's done. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the library. I'll close photo, get rid of it. Go to the library, and I'm going to get rid of, that was the bottom of the page. I'm going to get rid of the one that, oops, sorry, it was at the bottom of the page. I'm going to get rid of this one because that's the one I just edited. I'm deleting it, delete forever. Now I'm going to upload it. I'm going to go find it. So here's my desktop. Notice right here it says desktop. If yours doesn't say desktop, find where it says desktop. There he is. Open it. It's going to upload. Remember, don't worry about it being on this editing page again. Just go to the library and see if it's there. And we don't see it here, so go to the top. There it is. See? And that would be it. And then when you're done, you don't have to do it all in one shot. It'll save your work. Sign out. And it'll show you this, and then later on when you're ready to work again on it, just sign in. Same thing. Put in the code. So there's your password name. Here's your password. Foofy. Sign in. And I put the wrong password in. Then when you're ready, you would just go back again to your library right here. And you would start working again. Of course, you're not going to do any of the E's until you and I both see that every single image has been given an E. Okay? So I'm signing out, and that's it for this lesson.